Good afternoon, grinders. This is your NBA SimLabs analysis for Monday, March 10th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I like the thummy thumbs. We got a 10-game slate tonight in the NBA and a lot of Q tags. As usual. Of course, two of the highest projected plays on the slate both have Q tags, and that's Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. Obviously, LeBron is out, so Austin Reeves gets kind of bumped up. I mean, the Lakers got a bunch of people out, so Luka obviously a top play at 12K, right? You got Jokic there, 12.9, but probably going to be filling up maybe a cheaper center today, most likely. Also on the injury report, we got Trae Young, questionable. We got Tyrese Halliburton, questionable. Van Vliet, questionable. Brunson is out. Maxey, questionable. Monk, doubtful. Eamon Thompson is out. PJ Washington is questionable. Chet Holmgren is doubtful. Porzingis is doubtful. Middleton is out. Pirtle is out. I'm just going through. This is our situation room. You can get this for free at RotoGrinders.com. So if you want to take a look and see how the injury report is playing out, and also, if the guy is out, what the little blurb on what should you do in that instance. But we also cover that on the YouTube channel on Grinders Live and Crunch Time. That's later today, 5 p.m. Eastern, and about 6:20, 6:30 for Crunch Time. They'll fill you in with all the news, all the projection updates, all the ownership updates, because a lot of moving parts in the NBA as of right now. Looks like the chalk on the slate is R.J. Barrett, 7,400 for Toronto. Obviously, shooting guard and small forward eligibility, so he does fit into a lot of slots. From a value perspective, maybe Champagne. Power forward spot is a little weak today, so he's a cheap option in the same game, that Raptors Wizards game. Quickly also on the Raptors, obviously Tatum, Andre Drummond, 5,400, probably going to be fairly chalky. Other guys that are in there, like Jaylen Brown, like obviously Jaylen Brown or Tatum, depending on if Tatum's out, Brown's going to be chalky. Austin Reeves should be chalky. Also, like someone like Trey Jemison, just because if he gets 24 minutes, I mean he's not like the most productive player, but a 3K center against Brooklyn for the Lakers with LeBron out and possibly Luka out also. They already have like what Hachimura's out and Finney Smith is. I mean, the Lakers just have a lot of people out. So he may be like a value option. Same thing for someone like Dante Exum or Vince Williams Jr. Like you're probably gonna have to find like someone to fit in that kind of range. And I mean, we also have like Robinson 3,700 on Toronto because Pirtle is out and Mogbo is out. So these are very high variance situations. I mean, if these guys play like a couple of minutes more than we project, I mean, they could easily go 10x their price tag. So definitely look out for those. But we like going to SimLabs and seeing what's going on here. This is a pretty big slate. Let's say we're building for a small field contest by 1,000, 2,000 entries. Right, I'm going to keep my results range low because I mean the 10 games. There's a lot of options. I maybe don't want to necessarily play a 1.5% own like cheapy guy. Some really weird situation where our Sims have weird lineup that somehow gets enough like first top 5 finishes that it does show up in here. But I always like looking at the optimal versus projected ownership as of right now. Like I always say, it's beginning of the afternoon. We see Luka's out, we see Tatum's out, we see anyone else is out. I mean, all of this is going to change. So you should be doing this closer to lock using SimLabs because we rerun all this stuff as news comes in, as projections change, as ownership change. We run 10,000 plus simulations. So this gets updated multiple times throughout the day. But as of right now, we have Austin Reeves as a little bit overowned, right? We have his ownership at 22%, and his optimal rate is like 13, which isn't that bad. Same for Scotty Barnes, a little bit overowned. We got Champagne overowned by 7%. So what's that going to be? Let me take a look at the other screen. Yeah, so it's still 22% optimal. So yeah, so Chet Bagney really isn't like, yeah, he's over owned by 7%, but he also has an optimal rate of like 22, 23%, which is pretty good, pretty damn good on this slate. So maybe we prioritize uh, uh, an over owned Justin Chagpagney uh, at power forward, and we don't play someone like Reeves. So this is what you could do in SimLabs. You could lock players, you could exclude players, and find the lineups with configurations that you want to play. Right? You're not going to put in like all of your players here, but it's like what lineups sim well for a small field contest that have Champagne in it but have no Austin Reeves, and you could do that. And I could just like, there 20 lineups. Give me 20 lineups. What do these look like? Right? Because it's a matter of playing lineups, not players. Like, what does the rest of the lineup look like? So we see here, okay, we got very good rated lineups. Okay, so this is a configuration you could easily use. So we got Halliburton in this lineup. We take a look here. No one really, like Zach Edey at 8% owned is like the lowest owned player in the lineup, which these are good. These are fine. So here's one with Derek White. Obviously, if Tatum is out, guys like Derek White is going to get a boost. White and Brown. So you could play for that instance, but we should get that information. That game's at 7:30. That's what it looks like. Yeah, 7:30. So we should probably have that before lock. But we have Quickly in here, 28% owned. So I mean, we got Drummond here. So you could still play a non-Austin Reeves lineup with Chad Pagney and still play like fairly chalky. Like, look, RJ Barrett is in this first lineup. We can take a look, just look at the exposures and see out of the 20 lineups, RJ Barrett is in 75% of them. Emmanuel Quickly is in 50%. Drummond's at 45%. So, like, if you want to fade Reeves, you could play Barrett, right? And if you want to fade Barrett, you can play Reeves. Right? That's kind of the way it works. I mean, you're kind of doing this manually when you use like lineup HQ, but the Sims can do it for you. So like Reeves, we have as overowned, but I mean, we have Barrett as overowned also. So Barrett Barrett we have projected owned at 42%. So if he's 13% overowned, his optimal rate is still 29%, which for a 10-game slate is pretty damn good. It's very good. Right, we have him as one of the highest projected plays in the slate. We have him at 5.75 points above salary adjusted value, which is pretty good for someone that has eligibility in like 5 different slots in your lineup. So maybe we do play maybe we play Barrett and we don't play Quickly. We don't put them together. Maybe they have a little bit negative correlation at like the 80th percentile. I mean, there are going to be instances where they both have flame emojis, but maybe we don't play Quickly. So what's Quickly? We can take a look. Quickly is point guard, right? Manuel Quickly 4% overowned, and his optimal rate, I mean, it's still 24%. So I mean, I think as of now in the Sims, I think you're probably playing one of Barrett or Quickly. So let's put that in. Maybe you choose to play Champagne and Barrett and don't play Reeves and Quickly. Well, what do these lineups look like? So let's go. We put it in for 20. You see this takes almost no time, right? 4 seconds. And we see here, I mean, it's the lineup from before, right? What can we see here? Derek White, Desmond Bain, Scotty Barnes, Champagne, Claxton, Barrett, Thompson, Williams. Here's one with Jordan Poole in it. Right? None of these lineups, you take a look at these ownerships, none of these lineups have like single-digit owned players in it. But it doesn't have Reeves or Quickly. I mean, that takes up there are going to be a lot of combinations in your contest that have those types of configurations. And as long as you're off of those types of configurations, I mean, you can still play chalky players. Let me take a look here. I got Exum in here. Still got Barnes in here. Do we want to play? Do we want to play all the Raptors at the same time? I mean, their rotation is pretty condensed. I mean, do we want to do that? Let's see. What do we have projection wise on Toronto? Yeah, I mean, we have Barrett. We have them all projected well, and we have 32 minutes each for Barrett, Quickly, and Barnes, because I mean they're essentially the main guys. We do have Jamal Sheed projected, not horribly, but like he comes up optimal a lot more often than for someone with like -3 salary adjusted value. So, I mean, like we take a look on the Sims dashboard, we see Jamal Sheed being, under owned. But I mean, his optimal rate is very low. So, yeah, he's 5% under owned because he's like not owned, right? We have his projected owned at like nothing, but he's at like 5% optimal. The same kind of thing for Zach Edey, right? We have him and PJ Washington at like, they're 8% under owned. They're good leverage plays, but I mean, we have their ownership at like 1%. So their optimal rate is still only 8 or 9%. So maybe we play a combination of that. I mean, from these Sims, it seems like we're playing Raptors today, as of now. Obviously, the Celtics are out and Luka's out, and we'd be playing totally other things. But as of right now, Barrett, Quickly, and Barnes, they all project well. I mean, they're all going to be owned. I mean, we have Barrett at 42%, Quickly at 28%, and Barnes at 24%. So it's like you're not getting different. But then once you start adding in Austin Reeves into that and Champagny into that, I mean, then you're essentially playing a cash lineup. Like I could take our current cash lineup, like our median optimal right now, if I could plug this in, is with our projections, we got Bane is in it, Barrett's in it, Champagny's in it, Trey Jameson is in it, Quickly, Tatum, and Drummond. And then you got D'Angelo Russell in there as well, although I'd question that a little bit. But yeah. But even if we don't play someone like Jemison in the lineup, if we take him out, I'm using lineup HQ on my other screen. We take Jemison out. We got Drummond and Exum in there. Yeah, this is a much different. This is a lineup that has all 20+% owned players in it. So that's Quickly, Jalen. So you're playing Brown and Tatum, Barrett, Champagny, Drummond, Vince Williams, and Dante Exum. Right? You have no Reeves in there. And obviously if Luka's out, you're definitely playing Reeves. So you got a lot of options today. But I mean, you could choose what you want to play. Let's say we want to play Champagny. We want to play someone like Zach Edey for leverage. Right? Maybe we don't want to play Trey Jemison at all. Right? We have him as way overowned. I mean, obviously he can get like 16 points and still be fine. But if he doesn't get 30, I mean, maybe he misses the optimal lineup, but especially in a day with 10 games and a lot of value. So let's say we exclude Jemison. Who else? RJ. I mean, we can play RJ Barrett. We cannot play RJ Barrett. We cannot play Austin. But let's not play RJ Barrett. Let's see what these combinations. What do they look like? So we're locking in Champagny and Edey. We're excluding Jemison and Barrett. What do these lineups look like? Like if it comes back, the SimLabs rating is like garbage. Then it just says, there's no lineups that kind of look like this. But no, we got it. We got it right here. We got plenty of them. Yeah, plenty. We got plenty. First one up, we got Quickly and Barnes, Derek White and Tatum, Edey, Russell, Champagny, Lonnie Walker at 4%. I mean, I know he had a game the other day, but I don't know. You could play something at 3,600, not bad. Here's one with SGA, White, Derek White, Kobe White, Champagny, Edey, Quickly, Exum, Russell. Like this isn't that bad, right? You got an 8% owned SGA, and obviously he could put up 1 million points any day. Here's one with Jaylen Brown. I don't mind this one. This one isn't that bad. It has a 7% owned Pascal Siakam. Right. So that's like the leverage play here with Quickly, Brown, White, Drummond, Russell, Champagny, Edey. And then here's one. I know Horford's questionable. Here's another one with Quickly, Dyson Daniels, Tatum, Horford, Drummond, White, Champagny, Edey. Here's another one. These configurations. You see how different some of these lineups are from each other. It's not about players. It's about lineups. Like, take a look at this one. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown. And then you get Cameron Johnson in here with with Drummond and Edey and Champagny. Here's one with Ja Morant to go along with Edey. Kessler Edwards in this lineup. These are all very similar rated lineups. Here's one with Emmanuel Quickly. I'm assuming as of right now, you should be playing a Raptor in your lineup. I'm assuming they seem to be coming up a lot. Let's say we take these out, because another way you could use research is just take everything out, use 150 and just go like, what shows up? right? What does this look like? So I'm just going to get 150 lineups. And you think 150 lineups is going to take forever. It's like, no, it's going to take like 5 or 6 seconds. You see here in SimLabs. We've already done all the simulations, right? So all it's doing is going and grabbing 150 that have high rating on a cross-section of 10,000 plus simulations. And there you go. There's 150 of them, right? And they're going to be all high rated, right? Or we go all the way down, anything that's like 60 plus is fine, right? It's to have the different, this one's 90, this one's 60. The range is still going to be very close. So we go to this exposure section and we can see, okay, look, Emmanuel Quickly, 56% of lineups, RJ Barrett, 56% of lineups, right? Then we get Chip Hagney, we got Drummond, we got Kobe White in there, right? Who do we not have? Who's low that we were thinking of before? Like Jamal Sheed, we talked about, he's only 2%. I think a lot of people today may play Jared Vanderbilt at power forward, maybe more so on FanDuel. That may be fine with obviously with the everyone out for the Lakers. He's 4,500 on DraftKings. I think he's fine. He's probably fine. He projects. He's like okay projecting. I don't think he's screaming value. Then we go up here. Who's coming in low? Halliburton's coming in low, but he may not even play. Orlando Robinson, 12%. Oh, it's like Austin Reeves, like right here, 12%. Like in comparison to everyone else, like Austin Reeves doesn't come in as high as some of these other guys that are going to be chalky. Right, Reeves is down here. Even Bain, I think Bain's going to get decent amount of ownership. 18% on. Okay, now maybe not absurd amount of ownership. Okay? We got Barrett with ownership. We got Drummond with ownership. He's up there. Exum, where's Exum? Let's find Exum on this list. Oh, Exum's up there also. Okay, so Vince Williams is up there. Derek White, Desmond Bain. Look, we can see here Zach Edey is like nowhere close to being owned, yet he's very high up here. Same for like D'Angelo Russell, we have high. Kobe White, we have pretty damn high also. What do we have for Kobe White? Kobe White, we have him, 18% owned. Okay, whatever. At 7,200 against Indiana. I think that's not that bad. Right, Kessler Edwards, what's his ownership? Oh, 16% owned. Okay, he's okay. Right? We're looking for lineups. So, it looks like Scotty Barnes is the odd man out compared to Quickly and Barrett. So, if you're going to play, I guess, one of them, you're probably playing Quickly or Barrett. And Zach Edey being a leverage play, I guess. And that's in our simulations currently. Obviously, if Tatum sits, it's gonna change a lot of things. We're gonna get a lot of Jaylen Brown, a lot of Derek White, and if Lucas sits also, Austin Reeves is not going to be like it's not going to come up only 12% of the time. Austin Reeves is going to come up a lot. Someone has to score for the Lakers. So this is kind of how you use SimLabs to find the lineups that sim well that you want to play. Right? Because you can play any different types of configurations. Let's say you didn't want to play Barrett and you didn't want to play Chad Bagney and you wanted to play Scotty Barnes. And you can find lineups that look like that. It's about what's in the rest of the lineup. And we have all that information for you here as part of a combo light package. It's our cheapest package. I don't know why it's so cheap. You get full access to SimLabs. You get all of our databases like Plate IQ, Court IQ, Weather Edge. You get all of our comprehensive, ratings and tools, our expert surveys, premium content, core, consensus value rankings, all that type of stuff for the 4 major sports for NBA, MLB, PGA, and NFL for one low price of $29.99. Feel free to click on that link in the description and go sign up today at rotogrinders.com/premium. But if you're not going to do that, at least hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Give me those thumbs. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. Remember, later today, Grinders Live, 5 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a lot of news. Look at all these Q tags. Okay, you're going to need to get filled in on what happens when this guy is out and this guy is in and the starting lineup gets announced this way and the rotation works out that way. They'll cover you all the way from 5 p.m. Eastern all the way up until lock. Go tune in. And they will take care of you. And I'll be back tomorrow for another NBA SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.